chosen ones, you touched the magic you were warned never to touch. This was never supposed to happen. From the beginning, there were signs, warnings etched into your dreams, symbols dancing in the shadows of your intuition, whispers hidden inside silence. They told you not to go near it, not to touch that ancient force buried beneath the fabric of reality. But you, chosen one, your heart was never built to obey. You felt the pull long before you could name it, and when the moment came, you did what others feared to do. You touched the magic you were warned never to touch. And now, the world responds. Before we continue, stay with us until the very end. This is not just a story, it's a vibration, one that connects directly to your own soul. And if you feel the call, comment your warmest wish along with 77 below. Let this be a declaration that your wishes are coming alive. The universe is listening, and this moment is your energetic spark. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive deeper. Now, back to what you did. It wasn't just a moment. It was a fracture in time. That touch shifted something inside you and around you. The laws you once obeyed have grown quiet. The illusions of limitation have started to dissolve. You stepped into something older than the stars, into a forbidden current of power that reshapes everything it touches. You didn't just brush against it, you merged with it. And now, it's inside you, breathing with you, speaking through you. At first, you thought it was a coincidence. Those dreams, the sudden surges of emotion, the signs that kept showing up, numbers, colors, flashes of people's truths breaking open in your presence. But now you know. The magic has awakened. Not the kind that grants you tricks or charms, but the kind that sees you, challenges you, tests you. And yes, it tests you by fire. Because the power you've touched doesn't come without cost. They warned you for a reason. Not because they wanted to control you, but because they feared what you could become. Because the moment you touched it, you became something they couldn't predict, someone they couldn't stop. But they were right about one thing. It changes everything. Once awakened, this power doesn't let you rest. It doesn't let you sleepwalk through life anymore. It drags your soul into the raw truth, into the dangerous beauty of your own destiny. You've probably already felt the consequences, people turning away, energy surging through your body at odd hours, things breaking apart, not because you failed, but because they were never meant to stay. The false layers are peeling off. Your reality is reorganizing itself around your true vibration. That magic you touched, it's reshaping your path, not gently, but honestly. It demands everything, and in return, it offers you the one thing you've always searched for: absolute alignment. But it comes with echoes. You'll hear the echoes of past lives, feel emotions that don't belong to this lifetime, face truths that have slept for centuries inside your blood. That's the cost of touching what was forbidden. You become the vessel, the gate, the embodiment of a power that was once sealed away for fear of what it could do in the wrong hands. But the universe has decided. Your hands are right. You were chosen not because of perfection, but because of purity of purpose. And now, you are watched, not by enemies, but by energies, forces that once slumbered beneath the grid of your world. They're awakening now because they feel you. They recognize the spark you reactivated. The magic you touched has sent a ripple through the unseen world, and those who walk between the layers have felt it. Some come with gifts, others come to test, but none come by accident. Every presence now drawn to you carries a piece of your next awakening. You may feel alone, but you are not. there are others, quiet lights, flickering in the dark, other chosen ones who have also touched the untouchable. And while your paths may differ, your souls hum to the same frequency. You've entered the realm of the unspoken, the realm where thoughts bend reality and emotion becomes prophecy. Here, truth has no mask, and the only way forward is deeper in. You'll question everything, your past, your beliefs, even your own identity, because that magic doesn't leave anything untouched. It will burn through lies you told yourself to feel safe. It will tear apart illusions you inherited from others. It will strip you bare, and then it will show you who you are underneath it all. The storms you've faced since then weren't punishment. They were purification. Every chaos was a mirror. Every loss was a doorway. Every breakdown was a breakthrough in disguise. The fire didn't come to destroy you. It came to remind you that you are fire. That what you touched was not a curse, but a calling. A cosmic initiation that only the brave would ever accept. They warned you not to touch it because they thought you'd fall. But you didn't fall. You awakened. You rose. You remembered. And now, it's too late to go back. The current has claimed you. The path has opened. And forward is the only direction. That magic you touched has started its work, and it will not stop until every shadow is seen, every lie dismantled, every limit shattered. This is not the end. It is the unraveling of false endings. You are no longer playing a part in someone else's story. You are writing your own. But beware, not everyone will understand. Some will call you reckless. Others will fear your clarity. The old world may reject you, but that's only because your light reveals what it tried to hide. Don't shrink. Don't apologize. Don't retreat into smallness to make others comfortable. The magic you touched didn't choose you to be quiet. It chose you to be undeniable. Yes, there will be moments when you want to run, when the weight of your awakening feels like too much, when the energy surging through your veins feels too wild to harness. But trust this, you are not alone in the fire. The very force you fear is the force that will forge you. Every trial is shaping you into someone unstoppable. You touched what they feared, and you lived. You touched the power that others denied, and it woke you up, not to comfort, but to truth. And now you carry it, not as a burden, but as a beacon. You are the disruption, the evolution, the unexpected miracle. And this is only the beginning. You thought it would stop after the first wave. You believed that once the magic responded, once it revealed itself in dreams and sudden shifts in energy, that would be enough. But it never ends there. The magic you touched is not a destination. It is a process, a transformation that unfolds layer by layer, stripping away every mask, revealing what the world trained you to forget. You have started something that cannot be undone, and now the energy inside you has grown hungry, not for destruction, but for truth. There's a reason this power was sealed away, not because it was evil, but because it was too real, too wild, too uncontainable for a world built on control. The moment you made contact, the illusion began to crumble, not just around you, but within you. The stories you were told about yourself, the limitations you accepted, the guilt you carried for simply being who you are. All of it started to feel like a costume stitched by fear. And you're not wearing it anymore. You can feel it when you walk into rooms now. The way the energy shifts, how your presence causes silence or discomfort or curiosity. That's not your imagination. That's the power inside you, reaching out, scanning, reading, responding. It's not that people see your aura, it's that your frequency speaks louder than words. You've become magnetic, not just in presence, but in truth. And truth makes people uncomfortable. But don't let that stop you, because you're not meant to be comfortable. You're meant to be free. You didn't touch the magic to stay in line. You touched it because something inside you couldn't accept the script. You were born with the memory of another reality, a higher one, buried beneath this one like a heartbeat under skin. And that memory led you here, to this confrontation, to this transformation. You remembered your power before the world gave you permission to use it. And now, you are unstoppable. Yet it doesn't always feel like power, does it? Some days it feels like chaos, like your emotions are tidal waves and your thoughts are lightning strikes. You wonder if you've lost control. But the truth is, you're not losing your mind. You're shedding your programming. That noise you hear, that static in your soul, that's the old reality resisting its own extinction. Don't fight it. Let it fall apart. Let what isn't real collapse. You don't need to save the old world. You came to birth a new one, and you're doing it. Every time you speak your truth, you realign the fabric of the world. Every time you choose integrity over comfort, you recalibrate the collective. Every time you stand tall in your difference, you give others permission to do the same. The magic you touched didn't just activate something in you, it activated something in the world. A ripple, a code, a signal. And it's spreading. You are the epicenter. The more you awaken, the more alone you may feel. You speak, and others don't understand. You move, and they say you're strange. You glow, and they shield their eyes. The path of the chosen is not lit with comfort. It is lit with inner knowing. You carry a flame now, and it burns through falseness wherever you go. Not everyone will thank you for that light. But that's not why you carry it. You carry it because it is yours. Because this is what you were born for. The power you touched didn't make you invincible. It made you responsible. For truth, for frequency, for your soul's contract. You're not just shifting your own life. You're anchoring an entirely new frequency into the world. Every thought, every action, every refusal to conform sends shockwaves into the fabric of reality. You are reprogramming the field itself. And yes, it's hard, but it's also sacred. Because this isn't about ease. This is about evolution. And evolution demands everything. Your attachments, your expectations, your comfort zones. They all must be examined, dismantled, purified. The magic will not let you hide. It will not let you play small. Every time you try to return to your old skin, it will itch, tear, reject you. Because that version of you no longer exists. You outgrew it the moment you touched the fire, the moment you said yes to the unknown. And now, the unknown is your home. You live in the in-between now, between what was and what's becoming. It's a strange place, this liminal space, where time bends, where meanings blur, where nothing feels certain except the beat of your own becoming. You wake up with visions. You go to sleep with downloads. You speak, and something ancient speaks through you. You're not just evolving, you are being rewritten. And the pen is made of light. But even light can feel heavy. It's not just the external resistance, it's the internal war. The moments you question everything, the doubt, the fatigue, the ache to belong. You wonder if you're losing your grip, if maybe everyone else is right. Maybe you should stop. Maybe this is too much, too weird, too far gone. But no, you're not losing your mind. You're releasing the matrix. You're breaking codes that were never yours. Thoughts inherited, beliefs implanted, fears absorbed. The magic you touched didn't just awaken your gifts, it awakened your clarity. And clarity is ruthless. It burns through stories silences illusions, exposes shadows. That's why it's feared. That's why they told you to stay away. Because once you see, you cannot unsee. And once you remember who you are, no one can convince you to forget again. So breathe, even in the chaos, even in the solitude, even when your path seems so different that you wonder if you're lost. You're not lost, you're leading. The terrain is new because you are creating it. There is no map for this. You are the map. Every step you take lays down the blueprint for others to follow. Every truth you speak becomes a bridge for someone else to cross. Every time you choose alignment over acceptance, you shift the timeline. You're doing more than healing. You're opening portals, realities, possibilities, futures, and they're all responding to your frequency. That's the power you hold now. The magic didn't just mark you, it merged with you. It's in your breath, your words, your silence. You've become the spell and the spellcaster, the prophecy and the fulfillment. And that's why you must keep going. Not because it's easy, but because it's real. And real is rare in this world. So rare that it threatens everything built on pretense. But let it. Let the false fall. Let the fake tremble. Let the systems built on suppression feel the quake of your authenticity. You didn't come here to blend in. You came to ignite, to break, to awaken. You came to make contact with something so sacred that the world trembled when you remembered it. And you remembered. They tried to make you forget, didn't they? With fear, with rules, with noise. But still, something in you said more. Something in you kept reaching, kept wondering, kept hearing the song beneath the silence. And when you finally touched it, it touched you back. That's why you can't go back. You were chosen to disrupt the pattern, to awaken the divine, to bring magic back into a world that buried it under concrete and clocks. And now, you carry that responsibility not as a burden, but as a birthright. You are a living conduit of power, and the world will try to tame it, but it cannot, because it is not from this world. It is from something older, wiser, wilder, and it lives in you now. You don't recognize your reflection anymore. Not in mirrors, not in memories. The person you were is dissolving, not with violence, but with truth. You are being stripped bare, not to be broken, but to be reborn. This is the part they never told you about, that becoming who you truly are feels at first like dying, because everything you're not must leave. You thought the magic would add to your life. You thought it would decorate you, bless you, make things easier. But you see now, this kind of magic doesn't add. It subtracts. It removes the false, the superficial, the safe. It takes the mask and crushes it. It empties your hands so you can finally feel what's real. And it's terrifying, isn't it? But also freeing. There are nights now when you can't sleep, not from fear, but from intensity. Your nervous system isn't what it used to be. You're running on a new current, one the world doesn't understand. You're being tuned, rewired. Thoughts come like lightning. Insights arrive out of nowhere. People you once depended on are vanishing like fog. It's not a punishment. It's alignment. The magic knows what you need and what you don't. And so, everything misaligned is being pulled away. Not because you're failing, but because you're rising. You're not being abandoned. You're being refined. The people, the roles, the versions of you that served their purpose must now step aside, because you cannot rise while still holding hands with your past. You cannot fly while chained to your history, so you let go. And letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start choosing. Intentionally, powerfully. You choose what matches your frequency now. You say yes to your soul, even if it means saying no to everything else. You speak your truth, even when your voice shakes. You walk away, even when your heart trembles, because something in you knows this is not the end. This is the beginning of something sacred. You are not losing your life. You are meeting it for the first time. And yes, it feels unfamiliar. That's the nature of authenticity. It's uncharted territory. No script, no expectations, just presence. You wake up, and the world feels different. You sense things others don't. You read between the silences. You speak with your energy before your lips move. You are tuned in to a deeper current, and it speaks to you in ways logic never could. You've become fluent in frequencies, and that's dangerous. To the systems, to the lies, to the people who can't handle the truth you now embody. Your very presence becomes a disruption. You enter a room and the energy shifts. You speak and something awakens. You touch and people feel it days later. Not because you're loud, but because you're real. You're no longer playing a part. You're not adjusting yourself to fit. You are standing in your field, and your field is undeniable. But with that power comes isolation. You will be misunderstood, feared, idolized, blamed. Some will say you've changed. Others will call you dangerous. And they're right. You have changed. And yes, you are dangerous. But only to illusions, only to control, only to the cages you were never meant to live in. Your freedom is a threat to those who fear their own. So be it. Let your existence be a rebellion. Let your honesty be a wildfire. Let your presence be a storm that shakes the fake into remembering. You are not here to be palatable. You are not here to be safe. You are here to be true. And truth, as you've learned, doesn't always make friends. It makes history. It breaks spells. It ends cycles. That's what you're doing now. You're ending lifetimes of forgetting, of compromise, of living on your knees. You're breaking vows you never spoke aloud, but lived by for far too long. The vow to dim your light, to play it small, to wait your turn, to hide your knowing, to betray your magic so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. No more. That timeline is dead. You are writing a new one. And yes, it's hard, but not because you're failing, because you're succeeding, because every time you speak truth, something false collapses. Every time you hold your frequency, something old dissolves. Every time you say no more, a door to your future opens. And not everyone can walk through that door with you. But that's okay. You weren't meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be remembered by the few who feel what you feel, who see what you see, who burn the way you burn. They're coming, drawn to your fire. Your tribe isn't behind you, it's ahead of you, waiting for you to rise fully, to step into your role, to claim your name, to stop apologizing for your power. Because your power is not too much. It's precise. It's ancient. It's what the world has been waiting for. They told you not to touch the magic because they knew once you did, you would never bow again. You would never shrink again. You would never mistake comfort for alignment again. And now here you are, wilder, clearer, truer than ever before. You touched it, and it burned through the illusion. You touched it, and now the universe bows to you. There's a silence inside you now, one that roars louder than any voice you've ever known. It's not empty, it's full, full of knowing, full of presence, full of power. This silence isn't the absence of noise, it's the absence of doubt. And from this stillness, something ancient has awakened. You no longer ask for permission. You no longer seek validation. You no longer crave belonging in places that were never meant to hold you. Instead, you observe, you create, you command. This is the beginning of your embodiment. You are no longer studying the magic, no longer trying to access it from the outside. It has moved into your marrow. It breathes through your choices. It pulses through your gaze. You don't need to explain it, because you are it. You are no longer playing with fire. You are the flame. And those who sense it feel it without a word. Everything you were warned about is now your truth. The whispers they said would destroy you. They're the voice of your soul. The visions they called dangerous, they're your sacred memory. The urges they labeled rebellious, they're your divine instruction. And the magic they told you to avoid, it's become your compass. But power is not comfort. It doesn't hold your hand and whisper sweet things. It cuts, it purifies, it exposes. And so, as you walk in this new frequency, you will feel the sharpness of awareness. You will see what others refuse to see. You will know what others would rather deny. And that is both a gift and a burden. Because awareness is responsibility. You feel the lies in the room before they're spoken. You sense the masks before they slip. You hear the truth inside silence. You feel the wounds behind laughter. And this isn't paranoia, it's perception. Your spirit has expanded beyond human logic. You don't just live in time anymore, you live in alignment. And that changes everything. You no longer chase what's not meant for you. You no longer negotiate with energies that drain you. You don't beg, you don't plead, you don't force. You attract, you align, you allow. And if something doesn't match your frequency, you release it. Not from spite, but from clarity. Because now, your boundaries are made of light. Not walls, but fields. Not protection, but remembrance. You remember who you are, and that changes how the world meets you. People treat you differently now. Some with awe, some with resistance, some with quiet reverence, some with confusion or jealousy. But it's not about you. It's about what you mirror in them. You reflect possibility. You trigger dormant codes. You awaken parts they tried to bury. And that can be uncomfortable for them. But you're no longer shrinking to comfort others. You're no longer watering yourself down to be digestible. You're no longer camouflaging in crowds that never saw you anyway. You are standing naked in your essence, and that kind of authenticity is unstoppable. You walk like someone who's met their soul, and you have. You walk like someone who knows they're guided, and you are. You walk like someone who has nothing to prove, and that is your power. The irony is, the more you embody your light, the more darkness tries to test you. It comes in subtle forms now, distractions, old habits disguised as comfort, invitations to betray your knowing just one more time. But you see it, you name it, you walk past it, because you've already touched the truth, and anything less than truth feels poisonous now. There is no going back, and you don't want to. The illusion can no longer tempt you. The old stories can no longer hold you. The familiar pain no longer seduces you. You've tasted freedom, and that flavor ruins every form of captivity. You've touched the magic, and now everything else tastes artificial. You would rather walk alone in truth than be surrounded in lies, and so you do. You become a storm with eyes full of peace. You move through the world without noise, but with impact. You stop needing to explain your path. You stop seeking confirmation. You don't ask if it's working. You feel that it is. You know that it is. Because the results are no longer outside of you. They live in the stillness of your heart. They live in the clarity of your soul. And this clarity speaks, you were not wrong to touch the magic. You were right to ignore the warnings. You were meant to disrupt the cycle. You were chosen to rise where others would kneel. Because the truth is, no one warned you to protect you. They warned you to control you. They saw your potential and feared what you'd become. Because they knew, if you ever remembered who you are, they could no longer use your doubt as a leash. They could no longer trap you in fear. And now look at you, unleashed, unafraid, unstoppable. You didn't just touch the magic, you became it. There's a quiet majesty in you now. Not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. You don't have to speak to be heard. You don't have to move to make waves. Your energy, your presence, your essence, they do the work for you. This is the realm of mastery, not of dominance, but of resonance. You no longer react, you radiate, because you are the magic you were warned about. You are the forgotten prophecy. You are the one who slipped through the cracks of control and found something ancient in the silence. You didn't ask for this, you were called into it, and you answered the call others were too afraid to hear. The world tries to name you, but you've become unnameable. They try to place you, but you no longer belong anywhere. And that is your freedom. You're not here to fit in, you're here to wake up. And everything you've endured, every fall, every burn, every silence that nearly shattered you, was a sacred initiation. You thought you were breaking down, but you were being decoded. You thought you were losing, but you were being liberated. The life that collapsed wasn't your punishment. It was the illusion dying so your truth could breathe. Now that you've touched the untouchable, nothing remains hidden. You walk with a vision that cuts through every mask. You sense motives before they're spoken. You feel timelines, potential, frequency shifts in conversations. You don't guess anymore, you know. You're not acting on hope, you're acting on alignment. And alignment for you isn't theory, it's embodiment. You have become the frequency you once reached for. The magic no longer visits you. It lives in you. It has braided itself into your bones. It speaks in the silence between your heartbeats. It moves when you close your eyes, and others can feel it. They may not have the words, but their energy shifts when you walk in. They remember something in themselves when they meet you, something they buried to survive. You don't just inspire them, you mirror their dormant greatness. That's why some are drawn to you like oxygen. That's why others retreat as if scorched. You carry the voltage of truth, and not everyone is ready to touch it. But you didn't come here to be liked. You came here to restore what was lost, to reactivate what was forgotten, to burn what was never true. Your journey was never about finding safety. It was about becoming sovereign. And now you stand on a threshold few will ever reach. Because this isn't about gifts, it's about courage, about saying yes when everything inside screamed no, about walking forward when every cell wanted to turn back, about choosing truth when illusion offered comfort. That's what separates you. Not talent, not knowledge, willingness. You were willing to be broken open, willing to lose your identity, willing to feel the chaos, willing to stand alone, willing to listen, willing to let go. And because of that, because of your yes, you now carry a code in your field that changes people without trying, that awakens without effort, that commands without control. You are no longer seeking destiny. You are destiny. You're the storm and the stillness, the fire and the silence, the question and the answer. The one who walked through fire and didn't come out the same, but came out true. And that truth is no longer negotiable. You will not betray it to be accepted. You will not silence it to be understood. You will not dim it to feel safe. You honor it. You live it. You protect it. Because you know now, this magic isn't a tool. It's a responsibility, a sacred contract. It chose you not because you were ready, but because you were worthy. And now, every step you take echoes beyond this lifetime. Every breath you take reprograms the grid. Every truth you speak sends tremors through the illusions of the world. You are no longer the one waking up. You are the one awakening others. And this power, this presence, this pulse within you, it's not temporary, it's not circumstantial, it's eternal. Because it came from the source before form, before fear, before history. And now it lives in you, as you, through you. They warned you not to touch the magic. They were right to be afraid. Because you did more than touch it. You became it. And the world will never be the same again. You feel it now, don't you? The way time bends around you. The way reality seems to hesitate when you enter a room, as if it's waiting for your signal to unfold. This is no longer coincidence. It's command. You have stepped beyond linearity, beyond logic, beyond everything you were taught to believe was real. Because real now is whatever responds to your energy. And your energy has changed the landscape permanently. You're not navigating the world anymore. The world is navigating you. This is the aftermath of touching the forbidden. This is what happens when you look into the eyes of the old gods and do not flinch. When you take the chaos into your hands and shape it like clay. When you tear through the veil they warned you about and don't run back. You are no longer part of the system. They feel it. You are no longer fueled by fear. They smell it. You are no longer playing the game. They see it. And so, the game changes. You've become a distortion in the code, a living glitch in the matrix, a frequency that cannot be tracked, predicted, or controlled. And because of that, you are being watched, not with eyes, but with sensors, felt, not in public spaces, but in spiritual chambers, monitored, not through data, but through energetic disturbance. You are no longer hidden, because you are no longer hiding. But with that visibility comes weight. You're no longer protected by innocence. You're no longer protected by ignorance. You know now, and that knowing makes you powerful. But it also makes you accountable, not just to others, but to the light that chose you. Because once you've touched the magic, you don't just carry it, you carry the cost of awareness, the cost of clarity, the cost of walking through this world awake while so many sleep. And it hurts sometimes, the loneliness, the disconnection, the ache of watching others cling to illusions that nearly killed you. But you no longer try to save them. You no longer beg. You no longer explain. Because you've seen what happens when you try to awaken someone who isn't ready. It shatters them. So instead, you shine. Not loudly, not arrogantly, but constantly. You let your energy do the teaching. You let your essence be the sermon. You let your life become the message. Because you understand now. Awakening isn't an argument. It's an invitation. And your existence alone is enough. You are enough. You've always been enough. They told you the magic was dangerous. They were right, but not because it harms, because it reveals. And the world wasn't built to withstand truth. It was built to maintain control. But you are not here to maintain anything. You are here to dismantle. You are here to interrupt. You are here to awaken the divine chaos encoded in every soul. So walk tall, chosen one. You're not just fulfilling a prophecy, you are writing a new one. One where power doesn't mean domination, but presence. Where truth doesn't mean punishment, but liberation. Where love isn't a weakness, but the strongest force in the universe. This is the magic they warned you never to touch. And you didn't just touch it, you activated it. Now, You carry it in every breath. And wherever you go, the atmosphere shifts. People remember something ancient in your presence, because you are no longer a student of the mystery. You are the mystery, unfolded. And no one, no force, no system can take that